back to News Geelong as we turn to the pulsating world of Geelong sport and our own flying hawk, Nathan Curry. Good evening, Nathan.
Thank you very much, Brawler. I'm down here at Skilled Stadium for all the latest from the Geelong Football Club. And as you can tell, winter is certainly here. It's pretty cold down here. But before we catch up with their coach, Chris Scott, we're going to turn our attention to the world of the Geelong and District Football League to catch up with Anarchy coach Dan Gibbs after his side's big win over North Geelong. And they're starting to consolidate their spot in the top 5.
Dan, a game that to and fro a bit. You got up in a good first quarter, but you know, in the last quarter there, you're able to kick away as well and get a very good victory.
Yeah, that's right. First quarter we had the win. I think it was probably a 5-goal win, and we used it well in the first quarter. And then North Geelong didn't use it in the second, but in the third quarter we didn't use it either. It was just whoever used that win, I think, and we paid off. We had to chase back in the last quarter.
Yeah. Were you happy with how your forward line worked today? It was obviously very successful with Yalch up forward and Nick Costello doing very well.
Yeah, well, we haven't usually done it. They've actually worked really well today. We put them down there deep. They're both small, quick. I think both can play football, but normally we've got Slugger down there, but we pushed Cozzy down there, and Cozzy done the job, so he kicked 5 goals, and Yelson kicked 4, so can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah. Are you happy with, in the third quarter, obviously, I don't know if you thought so, but some of your players a bit slack defensively to get back, and, you know, you sort of conceded a lead that you thought you might have been able to take in the last quarter?
Yeah, well, that's what I mentioned at three-quarter time. I spoke to the boys and I said we'll just chasing North Geelong behind, and they were prepared to push and run, and we were lazy. But and that hurt us. We're lucky really to come away with it.
Yeah.
We had to work hard in the last quarter, and so. Yeah.
And for this season, obviously this win was pretty important because now you've got a 2-game lead in the finals.
Oh, well, that's right. We really need it. Every week's important to us, and today was really important to put us 2 games in now. Now we come up against Werribee, which is another tough game, and just take 1 week at a time, and we're still not talking finals there. We just keep the boys together and just keep confident. That's about it.
Thanks very much, Dan. Well, now it's time to turn our attention to the racing world, and who better to do that than my good mate, John Dunn.
Racing here at Geelong last Friday afternoon on the synthetic, and in the opening event, the lead Freedman-trained youngster Cornell. Well, he'd run 3rd and 2nd at his only 2 race starts, and he continued in the national progression in the opening event. Talented female jockey Ruth Bradley, well, she's becoming a regular visitor to the winner's circle on the synthetic in recent weeks, and she was there again when Just Grand won the Market Square Maiden Plate. The 7-year-old gelding Cougar King won 3 races on the synthetic last season. His recent form on the turf, though, has been ordinary, and he relished getting back to his favourite surface. The Kelvin Burke-trained galloper It's No Myth has only had 3 starts and all on the synthetic, and he made it 2 wins from 4 outings on the synthetic and gave local jockey Jamie Mott the 3rd pin of winning treble. And that's the wrap-up of racing last Friday on the synthetic from a cold and blustery Geelong racecourse. Back to you, Nathan, with some more hot sport news.
Thanks very much, JD. Well done. Well, now it's time to catch up with Geelong coach Chris Scott. Now, Scotty, you sent Joel Corey and Travis Varco to Perth early. Are they certainties to come into the side on Friday night?
Yeah, more than likely. Their issues were only really minor physical issues, so we expect them to come back in. They've had a good block of training and they'll join up with the group on Friday, but at this stage we're pretty confident they'll both play. Oh, they've been training. Obviously it's been a different program because the rest of the squad hasn't been with them, but you know, we've got a few people there looking after them and they've worked pretty hard and should be in pretty good shape for Friday night.
Mitch Brown hurt his shoulder on Saturday night. What's the latest with him?
Oh, well, unfortunately, Mitch is going to have surgery on that shoulder. There was an option for him to sort of persist through, but Mitch is a really important long-term player for us. We think he can play 10 years of AFL footy for the Geelong Footy Club, so we're going to take a long-term approach and take our time with his rehab. So we'll get the surgery done as quickly as possible and look to get him up and running for a full pre-season and attack 2012. Yeah, two shoulder surgeries and a broken leg in 2.5 years of footy is really disappointing for him, but he's a quality young man. He's a first-round draft pick for us. A lot of people around the place have got a lot of time for him, so while it's disappointing, we've just got to keep reminding him and reminding ourselves that the long term's the most important for him. Oh, he's very disappointed. Yeah, very disappointed. But also, he understands that we have faith in him and we're going to stick by him. So while the short term's devastating for him, the long term's still very promising.
Thanks very much for your time, Chris. We'll catch up with you just before your big match with the West Coast Eagles on Friday night. I'm sure we'll have plenty of questions for you then. But until then, as always, it's back to you, Rollo.
Thank you, Nathan. 6 points and well reported. Now to the Geelong and Surf Coast weather for the next 6 days. It's a very good evening to our sparkling Lani Salathiel. Yes, it's very cold outside, so we have to ask the question of Lani, how is this winter weather continuing?
Thanks, Graham, and good evening to all our News Geelong viewers on another cold, wintry evening as we take a look at our predicted weather conditions over the next 6 days. Tomorrow, Thursday, we'll see cloudy conditions with scattered showers and the possibility of local hail during the morning with a cold top of just 12. Friday will be cloudy with scattered showers, becoming windy also with a top of 13. To start off the weekend, Saturday we'll see cloud increasing with isolated showers and an expected top of 14. And for Sunday we'll see similar cloudy conditions and isolated showers again with a top of 14. To start off the new winter week in July, on Monday we'll see a mostly cloudy day with isolated showers and a top of 14, and Tuesday will again be cloudy with isolated showers and a top of 15. Today was cloudy with scattered showers, redeveloping this afternoon with some thunderstorms and hail around the district due for tonight, a top of 13. And that's a wintry weather outlook for tonight, so rug up and keep warm until Friday. Have a pleasant evening, and it's back to you, Graham.
Thank you, Lani. And thank you for being with us on News Geelong this Wednesday evening. To Grace Akano on her way to India in the not too distant future. Remember, take your time and smell the flowers, Grace. From all the team at News Geelong, have a pleasant evening and a very good night.